Hello and welcome to the show. So we are on Forza Horizon this week for Will It Roll with one of the most requested cars. Not the Raptor, that's just me doing the filming. It is the Mini Cooper, the original Mini. This has been requested loads and loads of times. It's not on Forza 4, people who requested for that. It's not there, so we are going on to Forza Horizon for this one. I'm using the Raptor as a camera car because when you go onto bumper view, you're actually a relatively decent height, so it'll be useful for filming. Also, it's huge. Look at the size of it compared to the Mini. I just thought I'd show that as a sort of comparison shot. Anyway, there are some difficulties with Forza Horizon. Now, actually getting the cars to roll we think will be fairly easy. The difficulties is filming it. As you can see, you just watch the shadow there of the Mini while it soared through the air. Trying to get a position for this car took a while because I don't have any control over looking sort of like up and down. You just kind of look side to side. You can't, like if you're on bumper view, you can't make the camera look up. I then went up to the sort of the top of the hill to film, which is quite spectacular, I have to say. Problem is, there's a blooming fence in the way. It's the story of blooming Will It Roll. Is their fences are always in the way of everything. And Daniel tried rolling off the hill going the other way. It didn't work either. I kept up here for a little bit. This is quite a good shot. You kind of get an idea of how high that car was flying over there. We should really rename this one into a Will It Fly as opposed to Will It Roll. And then the car vanishes out of shot. In the end, I settled for this sort of camera angle, whatever you want to call it, with a jump in front of us, and I could park far enough back so that you could actually see the car as it soared through the air. You could also see the car as it appears, sort of like on its run up towards the jump, because some of the camera angles of the car would just suddenly appear. And here we can see the Mini, and nope, that one there missed completely. I will point out now that Daniel is driving the Mini on this one, and it is a shame that he can't be here for the recording. And we go for number 2 attempt, I think, on this one. And, well, hey, it's a cheat roll, but it rolled nonetheless. Slightly glitchy car, whatever you want to call it. Up next, I think Daniel was getting a little bit of revenge for when I rolled most of his favourite cars in the supercar version. So he has now got a Shelby Daytona, which is my all-time favourite car. I do like the Shelby Daytona. This is one of the barn find cars. Quite why you would leave one of these in a barn, I don't know. Although to be fair, there is a story in the real life one. One of them was found in someone's lockup or something. It was just sitting in there for years and somebody found it. But anyway, yes, we're going to try and roll the Shelby Daytona. Now, the reason why we often haven't done stuff on Horizon is because of, well, slightly laggy stuff. As you can see there was no sound to the car. You could just hear the gravel. And also for that reason, because of slightly laggy stuff, and the car ended up in the floor. We can't really do much about that. It's just something that happens, and we can't really fix. Anyway, after a second attempt, there we go. That's a sort of a barrel roll and landed in the floor and glitched about a little bit. Good old Forza servers being as they are. But there we go. The Shelby Daytona has rolled. I'm going to be honest, it was fairly straightforward flipping cars off that, whatever the hell them things are, mounds. But, well, I couldn't find a better place, really. Now, another new aspect of being on Forza Horizon is nighttime. Nighttime appeared. Daniel has gone and got hold of a Shelby Mustang GT500. Now, I'm hoping you'll probably have to be watching this in 720p at least. In the lower, whatever you want to call it, qualities, I suspect it'll just be blurry. I'm hoping it came across better on my TV screen than it does in here. It is quite dark. But if you make it full screen and you're running at a relatively high definite, what is it called, resolution or something, I don't know. If you're running it relatively high, you should be able to see what goes on in this. I didn't realise it was going to come out quite so dark in the editing. But anyway, I'm struggling to see on the tiny screen that I'm recording this from. Basically, the Mustang, well, missed the first jump. It was a bit of a weird one. Forza Horizon, slightly different physics to Forza 4, and kind of flinging cars off this isn't really what it was designed to be doing. Daniel, having seen that the first run hadn't really worked, decided that more speed was in order, because more speed always cures everything. We should have learned by now that that's not really the case. Never mind, it's gone for a bit of a longer run up, and hit the jump, nope, missed it completely. It did sort of like an end-over-endy kind of thing, and it did eventually kind of end up on its roof. Now this is quite hard to film for, because you kind of missed half of that and me trying to get the camera angle right. So we went back to have another go, and then it didn't work at that time either. Yeah, I'm sorry for the camera work. It is really tricky to try and film this stuff from the, well, effectively the bumper view of the Ford Raptor. And again, that one there, that was an interesting sort of 180 spin in midair. It wasn't actually a roll, so we've got to keep going to get a proper kind of roll, I guess. Hopefully you guys will be able to see what's going on, because I can't while I'm recording this very well. And there we go, I missed half of it, but that is a double barrel roll, and he stuck the landing. Pretty impressive, I have to say. Right, we move on next to the Gumpert Apollo. Daniel picked this car. Hold on, something's gone wrong. No. Now you see, Daniel set this lobby up. Someone managed to join. Daniel set the lobby up first, and he forgot to set it to private, so somebody appeared in the middle of our filming. Anyway, yes, we got the Gumpert Apollo here. This is a very fast car, one of the fastest cars on Forza Horizon. Daniel wanted to have a go with this one to see how the downforce affected things. Now, I believe, I can't remember quite the facts exactly on this car, it is said, or the Gumpert engineers said, that with the Apollo, if you were to take it, I think it speeds of over 160 or 180, you could theoretically drive it upside down in a tunnel because of the amount of downforce this car generates. It's never been tried because no one's that mental, but I would like to give it a go. If someone from Gumpert wants to lend me the car, I'd be happy to test that out. But yeah, it has huge amounts of downforce and it's a hugely fast car. Attempt number 1 and didn't quite work. It would kind of nearly sort of bounced off its side to roll over, but yeah, the first attempt wasn't, well, fairly spectacular, but it wasn't a roll, and the cars vanished out. It's like, there it is. Yeah, it's quite hard to see when the cars appear from anywhere. And second attempt, no, that was a 180 sort of spin thing. We're doing like burnout stunts in this more than more than anything else. It's quite fun to mess about with these cars, I have to say. And there we go. That's a big flip and a very big crash. And where is it? There it is. That's pretty spectacular. Ah, lost it. Come back. Another problem with the right. Oh, there it is. Another problem with Horizon, when the car lands on its roof, A spazzes out, as you can see, and it also sort of resets itself at some point. Anyway, we're trying to see if we can actually clear the fence. As you saw there in the first attempt, it looked like it would, but there's some invisible wall around it that you can't go through, which is a shame. Because, yeah, it would have been more fun to try and jump through there, but the game doesn't allow you to do it. Anyway, we have been messing about with enough cars, and our final one is going to be the Dodge Viper ACRX. Another car which I really do quite like. This is a fantastic car. It's really probably one of the best cars to drive on Forza Horizon. And yeah, everybody knows that I like ACR, so Daniel picked this one to spite me, I guess. I don't know, because I broke some of his cars in the supercar edition. I'm going to give this one a go. Again, quite similar to the Gumpert Apollo, it's got a huge amount of downforce and is very quick. So this one should be fairly interesting, and again we would expect fairly spectacular stuff from this car because of, well, huge amounts of speed. Now with all the cars that we used here, none of them were modified at all, and there goes the ACR. I can't quite decide if that was a flip or not, if it was sort of a twist in midair. So yeah, we'll go have another go with that one. None of these cars were modified. We don't really need to modify them because we're throwing them off this sort of huge mound as opposed to kind of throwing them off a curb, because I couldn't find a curb. There may be curbs you can roll it off, but I don't really know. Now I got Daniel to change which angle he was coming at to see if it worked better on the film, and from that angle there, it's a tricky decision between these two angles, because if you come down from that far side, you can't see when the car is about to appear. So I know there's going to be a flip in a minute, but I can't really tell you when because there's no sign of the car appearing. On the other one, you can kind of just see it there. It's gone, oh, there it is, sudden appearing Viper, and that's a triple barrel roll, and stuck the landing. I have to say, that was quite an impressive one. That was the best sort of flip that we had of all the cars in this. So there we go. We have rolled 5 cars, I think. Was it 5? I hope we're not counted correctly. 1, 2, or was it 4? I don't know. I've completely forgotten now. But yes, we've rolled some cars in Forza Horizon. It's fairly straightforward in here because we can use these sort of like huge mounds. It's also quite difficult in the sense of filming it because of laggy replays and sort of the static camera that I have to have. But there we go. Next week we're going to give you guys a choice again. It can either be an A, we can do one in Test Drive Unlimited 2. Daniel thought that one there would be quite interesting. Or we can go back to Forza 4 and the theme would be movie cars. So leave in the comment section which one would you like to see. Would you like to see Test Drive Unlimited 2? And if you have cars in there you'd like to see rolled, then leave them as well. Or would you like to see us back on Forza 4 with the movie cars? And again, leave suggestions for which movie cars you would like to see. However, that is it for this episode, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.